Okay, I'm going to just quickly go over the module human weaknesses in was a module in week 4. For the human weaknesses, I decided to choose, or excuse me, I decided to choose the lockout laws, lockout laws for my analysis. Particularly not just the lockout laws in general, but the lockout laws in terms of the Star Casino. Well, this is quite a sensitive topic, just due to the fact that there has not been actually any leaked information about it. But um, but if you do research, you do a little bit of research about it. There's been two situations where the Star Casino has has been seen to, one, negates the attention from the laws, and second, actually profit from due to them, because for some reason they're accepted by it, even though they, one, are actually a nightclub. They have a nightclub in it, which is still exempt, and two, it actually caused them to increase the cash flow, but without being included to it. We can see this from a Sydney Morning Herald article from 2014, August 29th, um, where they go through a discussion of, like, what happens now after dark, like, because there's nowhere open. People are left to say what is open, and the only thing is open now is the casino over at in the Star, was it the nightclub in the Star Casino? That's not great because of now. Um, there's been because of their exclude from the actual review, they're excluded from it. They can just stay up 24/7. So you get people who wouldn't usually go to the casino going to the casino for the nightclub. The issue is this could also now infer that there's been an increase of gambling within that hours now, due to the people just going there for getting some drinks and, like, oh, what, let's go to the pokies or something like that. This can be seen just easily by their increase since the introduction of the lockout laws by 4.2%, and 6.8 for the year. Like, they gained an extra 4% revenue just after the lockout laws were introduced. That's fairly insane. And they basically they mark it up for, they say it's because of marketing, but, like, they've done previous marketing schedules in the past, but it's never risen that much. It's never risen that far due to it. This is like a brand new outlier, which indicates there's usually something else to do with it. On top of that, it's actually increased. Though the spokesmen are refusing to say, there actually has been an increased amount of violence inside the area relative to when before the lockout laws were introduced. This actually is an indicator that the lockout laws are not particularly actually working. It's working in the areas which are introduced, but in the whole, it's somewhat not as effective, because all you've done is move it away from an epicenter into smaller suburbs, which usually can't handle it as well. But, like, but no, it's pushed into Piedmont, where there actually has been an increase of violent behavior. This is another indicator that there might be a slight bit of it's indicated, like, it should have the lockout laws, but it doesn't. Indicating there is some reason why it doesn't, and their excuse is they're not in Darling Harbour, so therefore it doesn't include them. They're out of the exclusion area, even though they are the most violent, statistical wise, They are the most violent. They're tied the most violent venue in Sydney. And it actually goes in further than that because when they do analysis for the lockout laws, they to skewer the incident rate, as seen in the ABC article from 2016. I'll have both of these linked in the post. Basically, there's an indicator that they are not actually disclosing the exact full amount of incidents, rather than they're handling it doing internal handling and rather than like calling the police or something like that. This 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 further skews like saying like it makes it look like oopsies, sorry. Where am I? Yeah, it further skews like I lost track of my thought track. This further skews like the thought process. No, this further skews their like justification why they shouldn't be excluded because they're like, oh, we're not that bad. But in reality, in 2016, they say they had about 65. Oh, wait, just give me a second. Calculator. They said they had only 26 incidents across the year. Oh no, across 6 months, compared to the top-rated one from the Newcastle Herald review in 2014, which says so they had 26. Well, the top one was the Ivy at that point in time on 24. Actually, wait, give me a second. Yep. Basically, prior to is the Ivy at 24, which alone states it probably should have the lockout law, but it even goes further on that, saying there's about 75 of them. There's 75 more, so the total of 111 that weren't actually. Wait, that's not right. What the hell? Sorry, it's 36. 36 incidents. So they're 10 more than the largest one currently, the Ivy. And was it? Yeah, they're 10 more than the current one, the Ivy, but they excluded. And on top of that, there's a report that 75 of them aren't even reported. So it's more an estimated around 111 incidents happening over there. The fact that this is just completely ignored indicates there's something else going on. And that's why it's usually an indicator. It's usually this is now my superstition, but because there's no real proof of this, but like they are they are somehow convinced the government to ignore them or look away look away from it. And the fact that they're getting more profits even is actually unethical by itself, but because of their taking advantage of the situation. But basically, yeah, the circumstances is two people got knocked out. Everyone was on the chopping block, so everyone has stopped reporting incidences as much often because it's dangerous, because they didn't want to jeopardize their own business due to it. This caused their own pressure on themselves, so they shift it. And it just led to the mess. But this here just shows that due to the stars casinos wanting to gain profit, they're just straight up misleading both the government and the public. And I'm pretty sure they're investors too, because they're not justifying the increase due to this. By piggybacking off the death of two individuals that who was the reason why the knockout laws were introduced in the first place. Basically, they should. You see, there's no real way of you can changing the design to include it. One, you can change the design to actually include them. There's straight up. There's no real justification why they should be not included. I get it might hurt our it might hurt us financially, but that's not an excuse, because that's an unethical reasoning. They're not being excluded because of because of the reasons why it was introduced in the first place. If you're doing that, then why did we bring it in the first place? And even on top of that, the fact that the new one's also excluded, even though it is actually in the center of one of the lockout laws provisions, it's actually in the center. It somehow goes around it again. Just indicates there's something going wrong with the state government. Changes basically include them, and policies just go by go by the statistics. Don't hobfoshes like, oh, this is a test trial, because they were in the test trial area, they don't comply, and that type of stuff. It's to prevent it basically is stick by your own word and hold someone accountable for it. That's the only way I can see how this fits. And yeah, well, yeah, just I'm not gonna lie, the Star Casino is a little corrupt too, because even like the tram, for some reason after like not like I think after 10 the tram only stops at the Star Casino, but after before that, yeah, it only stops to discuss it after 10, which I find dumb. But yeah, okay, there's my little rant about the lockout laws and the moral hazards and the confessions, not the confessions, but like the issues with it, and how they actually profited from a negative situation, which is unethical, most unethical thing you can possibly do. But that's it. They're a casino, so yeah. Thank you.